Hey, welcome back to Cutting Through It. Today's just going to be a quick one. Today I wanted to share something that I think every hairstylist sometimes needs to be reminded of. And that is, I want to share with you like 3 of the top things that will be the fastest way for you to lose clients. I think as we get going as hairstylists, we tend to kind of get in a groove. We kind of, and we start to forget some of the most important things that keep clients coming back to visit us. And I really feel like it's just changing a lot now. Clients are being much more particular on where they're spending their money, on who they're seeing. Even if you've been a stylist that they've been seeing for many, many years, these things that I want to share with you today, they're just things that are just reminders for you. And the first one is, what kind of experience are you giving your client? Are you giving them an average experience, or are you giving them an experience for them to remember? Remember, you want to stand out to that client that sits in your chair. You want to be different than any other experience they've had before. Some little key things that you can do to make that a more of a memorable experience is, first and foremost, really pay attention to them, get eye level with them, and really listen. When you ask a question to them, sit and make eye contact with them, maybe even touch their shoulder, and listen to what they have to say, and then repeat back to them what they said so that they know that you're truly listening. Another thing is when you're working on them, share with them what you're doing, educate them, make them empowered that when they leave and that hairstyle that they just love, help them to be able to recreate that every day, so that every day they're getting up in the morning and they're doing their hair, they're feeling so good and they're getting compliments on their hair. And that, in essence, when they can do and reproduce what you did to them in the salon, gosh, it's just gonna make them feel good, and they're gonna get compliments, and you know what else? They're gonna wanna send people to you and give you great reviews. And the third thing is what is your communication? Second one, your communication. Make sure you're always doing your consultation, but when you're doing your consultation, when you're communicating about the price, are you communicating about the price? Are you communicating the correct price? And what I mean by this is, you may have a client that comes in and their expectation is that you're doing a color service and a haircut, which maybe together is $180. But when they come in, you know that they have a lot more hair. It's going to require more color. Maybe they have a little bit of a correctiveness they have to do. So in essence, that's going to be more, it's going to be more expensive for them. So my recommendation is to make sure that you communicate that beforehand. One of the biggest reasons clients don't come back is because of, lack of communication on the price. And I always say you want to just make sure that you're just completely transparent and upfront about the cost. Not just, well, it could be this. You want to be very specific about that. Now, I know you must be thinking, well, when it's corrective color, you don't know. True. So when you do a corrective color, I recommend at least, maybe having an hourly fee, and you could give them the max amount that you think it's going to be, because then when it's less, they're going to be that much more happier and that much more likely to return. The other thing is, on your communication, is to always under-promise and over-deliver. So when you're communicating with them about what, during your consultation, about what they want, you can tell them and honestly share with them what you can do. Maybe in your mind, you're like, I know it can come out better. But honestly, when you can over-deliver, it's so much better than to over-promise something and then at the end of the service, it's not at all what they wanted, or it's not nearly what you had said. Then they're going to be disappointed. And that, in essence, is going to, they're just going to remember that. You want to always be thinking about the experience you're giving them. And when you're communicating with your clients, the 2 top things that are so important is to be transparent about what it costs. Don't surprise them at the end of the visit, because maybe $30 to you isn't a lot, but it probably is to the client sitting in your chair. And the other thing is to always underpromise and overdeliver, because nothing is worse than to have them, you get finished with the service and it's nothing of what they expected. And the last and third thing that I want to share with you today that I really feel is missed by a lot of hairstylists, and that is follow up with them after your appointment, especially with a brand new client. I always recommend doing second day callbacks, not text backs, callbacks. Call them, pick up the phone and call them and ask them, how are you doing? How's your hair doing? How are you styling it? You know, sometimes we shy away from that because, well, let's be real. We don't want to hear it if they're not happy. But honestly, a client 9 times out of 10 is not going to call you and tell you that they're unhappy. They're usually going to go and find somebody to fix it. And they're going to also share it with their friends and family, which you don't want. So when you take the time to give you a second day callback and truly ask them how they're liking their hair, if for any reason you feel hesitation in their voice, or you feel like, yeah, I don't think they're really happy, that's when you invite them back in. And yes, it might be you come in early or you stay late, but it's gonna make a long-term loyal client because they're gonna feel important to you. When you take the time to actually do a phone call and ask them, it makes all the difference in the world. And when they are happy, that's the best, right? But it's also a reminder when they are happy, when you do those second day callbacks, also say, hey, if you have a friend that needs their hair done, you know, be sure to send them my way. It's very easy to do that. But there's something else that I want to challenge you to do on your follow-up, and that is do some snail mail. I think it's great to open the mailbox and receive a card from a friend or from somebody. So by you taking the time to not only call them, but to also sit down and write them a note, thanking them for coming in to see you, and reminding them that if anything that they're unhappy with or unsure about, to make sure that they call you and contact you. Remind them about the next time that they should be coming in if they did not come in for or decide to rebook when you ask them, which I always recommend. Remind them of, you know, to maintain their style, that when they'll be due. And I always say, you know, if you have a hard time styling or something, be sure to give me a call and I'll get you in for a complimentary style. These are just so important to take the time to do, because it's just going that extra mile, and it's making you and keeping you at front of mind with your client. So first and foremost, giving your client an experience that they remember. Clients will remember more about how you made them feel than anything else that you do. So remember that. Listen, really listen. Think about you when you're talking to somebody. Think about somebody that really makes you feel important, and that can kind of give you a little clue on what's going to help you be better working behind the chair. The next one is your communication, as far as, you know, when you're communicating with your client, are you being clear? Price is big. You got to be transparent about that price. Don't be at the end of it surprising them with an extra fee. And also, under promise, over deliver. You know, so, you know, you want them to leave and just feel like, wow, this exceeded my expectations. And the last one is always follow up. Do that call. I promise you, if you take the time to do that, even if you have a client that you've been doing for a long time, these things are important. And if I have a client that I've been doing for a long time and we do a change, I'm always going to call them. How did you like the change? It's so important because it makes them feel important to you. And take the time. I know it's time consuming, but if if you're building your business and you're really wanting to grow and get those referrals and reviews, taking the time to do a handwritten card it makes all the difference in the world. So hey, I hope this little bonus episode was a nice reminder of you. I just was at work today, and when I got off, I thought, I'm just going to get on and share these 3 things. It was just on my heart because I know Sometimes we get holes in our books, or if you're building and you're feeling like you're being a little bit slow, maybe this is a little reminder for you. Anyways, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.